Hey everyone, Batel here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking a lot, so grab something to drink. Now, I have made two different videos about the false self and the true self, but I highly encourage you to understand the Narcissistic Playbook and the True Self book, okay? And it's going to be suggested for you in the end of this video. The video is called What No One Talks About Part 2. Okay, so please go ahead and listen to that. And when you start learning what is in that video, you can't unsee it. So now, every time you will be faced with a false self or a narcissist, you're just gonna walk away because it's not the true self. On this video today, on this series, I'm going to speak to you about Narcissism Playbook. The book, okay? The book of Satan, okay? Now, there's always going to be 50-50 on planet Earth. Lately, though, however, we have been literally consumed with narcissism. Way more. Maybe it's always been that way. But maybe because we have the knowledge now, we see it in literally everyone, right? Now, I'm going to talk to you a lot about yourself as well on this video so you can start detaching and not focus so much on narcissism. Even though learning this knowledge is excruciatingly important, you also have to learn about the true self, not just the false self, okay? So, Narcissism, the book. I had this wonderful comment from a fellow subscriber yesterday about how she's so confused about what's going on with this dynamic, and the narcissist constantly acts like they don't know what's going on after a little while, as if they are possessed or something. And it seems like every narcissist behaves the same way. So are they all reading from the same book? Yes. What is that book? That book is the false self book from the devil. Now, let's just keep this real. They're not acting like they don't know. They're not basically, oh, I don't know what just happened to me. I'm possessed. No. They know exactly what they're doing. Even that little confusion in their face is an act, okay? So if you're with a narcissist right now, you need to really stop believing that act. We all like to call narcissists A1 Hollywood actors who read off a script because they legit do. Let me explain. The Narcissistic Playbook is the exact same way for every single narcissist, although some narcissists are higher on the spectrum, which is rape, murder, right? Sociopathism, right? Psychopathy, right? Insanity, right? And it's all on a spectrum. Why is it on a spectrum? Because narcissism on its own is cowardly, and it has no power unless you give it power. It is that simple. And a lot of times we see it as very hard, like, oh my gosh, it seems like this person is so powerful, and why am I zapped out of my energy, and why am I always so confused, and why am I always crying and afraid of this person? It's because, sadly enough, and this is what psychologists don't talk about, or therapists out there, because they don't have this knowledge. They don't go deeper into this knowledge. It's a spiritual warfare. But it's not just like, oh, bananas, spiritual warfare. Yeah, It's real. It's real. There are negative forces and there are positive forces. And that's just how life is, okay? In this physical form and everywhere else in life, it is what it is. Now, the Narcissistic Playbook. Okay, let's talk about that. Yes, they are the complete opposite of the true self. And there is nothing that you can do Listen to me again. There is nothing that you can do to fix this person. You have to understand that since the narcissist is a coward and they can't generate their own energy, they exist when you validate their false self. And that's as simple as that. So please listen to that video that I'm asking you to listen to towards the end of this series. You have to. And once you learn what I'm saying in that series, don't ever second guess yourself, because you have the booklet of the false self and the true self in one sheet. It's simple. Now, since most people are false selves, you would normally have empathy for them and feel bad for them. But this is not a journey of feeling bad for people and doing what's best for other people. You have to remember that you are on planet Earth alone. Alone. And you're here to experience yourself, your true self, for you. Not people please, not get validation from other people, not try to figure them out, not try to make them happy. Not obsess daily on what's going to happen with them, if they're going to ever heal, if they're ever going to love you, if they're ever going to validate you. How is this person behaving like this? It's a waste of time. How much time are you going to waste? Think about it. Think about it. Seriously. So the narcissistic playbook, yes. They gaslight, they manipulate, they hoover, they triangulate, they have flying monkeys, they have different personality styles. They are never the same person, okay? Being around them is extremely draining and exhausting and confusing. Causes PTSD, panic, right? Nightmares, hypervigilance, right? Shock, okay? And many times also physical abuse. Why is that? Why is the narcissistic playbook the exact same way? Why do they do the exact same things? And are they really truly reading from some Bible of their own? No. It is how the false self is created. Just like there's a true self that's created, there's a false self that's also created. And there's nothing that you can do to fix that. Do you understand? In life, there's always going to be duality. So no, you can't fix the devil. And the devil cannot make you a false self. He cannot take away your essence unless you give him your essence. It's actually a choice. That's why we have free will. And we truly do have free will. See, the programs of planet Earth have caused us to believe that we have to fix people, that we have to look for validation and get validation and be a people pleaser and do what's best for everyone else. Now, why do you think that is, okay? Before we continue talking about the playbook, because it's very important, this is what this whole video is about, you need to understand that the only reason that you're staying stuck with this narcissist is because you keep looking for love externally. Even if you're not in a narcissistic relationship and you have friends who are toxic and you don't understand why you're still in their life, it's because you are like believing that they will one day see you in this bright light that you see yourself. Nobody's going to validate that for you, especially a narcissist. So let's talk about the playbook, right? And talk about really how a narcissist only exists unless you validate their existence. Legit, legit, legit. Narcissists are cowards. They are freaks who hide behind 1,000 billion masks. They don't have a sense of self. They don't have a sense of self. What does that mean? They cannot generate their own energy, their own happiness. Their brain, let's keep this as clear as I can make it be. Their brain is dysfunctional and stupid. And I'm not just saying that. And I'm not trying to put anybody down here. Why do you think your brain always hurts when you're speaking to a narcissist? Why? It's because their brain is dysfunctional, the way it thinks, the way it operates, the way it sees things. It's so dysfunctional that when you try to speak to a narcissist, your brain starts to hurt. Hurt. Not to make it stronger or better. No, it's actually shrinking your brain cells. Okay? And literally putting now these ridiculous programs in your brain that you're trying to understand, you're trying to figure out. You're constantly trying to figure out, how the heck do these people believe and see things the way that they see them? It's distorted. So think about it this way. A narcissist's brain is like this big. This big. They are not intelligent. They act, some narcissists, they pick up words from movies. They pick up words from actual intelligent people, and they try to throw it in conversation with you so you can think that they are somewhat this charming individual who is so smart. Get to know them a little bit longer. They are effing stupid. They are not intelligent. They are so insecure. They always project this nonsense onto you. This nonsense, where's that projection coming from? It's their brain. It's the way that their brain operates. Now let's talk about the brain, and let's talk about, again, the devil and the narcissistic playbook. I always talk about this channel to detach from your mind, because the devil can only control your mind. What is the mind? The mind is physical. The mind is body. The mind is 3D reality. So if the devil can control a narcissist and whisper in the narcissist's ear on how to behave and what to do and who to trigger and who to mess up and who to fight and who to yell at and who to abuse, he's controlling that person, that person's body, the narcissist's body. He's controlling their brain, because the narcissist lost their soul. So they're not connected to source. They're not connected to their own energy. They're not connected to their own identity. They don't have. That's why they are empty shells. I've made a video on that as well. Excuse my loud tone. So think about it this way and really, really see it for what it is. You watching this video, you have a body and you have a brain and you are soul. You don't have a soul. You are soul. That's why you generate your own energy. That's why you find yourself to be happy no matter what happens in life. Even if horrible things happen, you will find a way to let them go and become a better you and keep evolving and keep evolving. A narcissist can't do that. They stay at the stupid age of 5 or 7 years old. And with that low brain that they have, with that little bullshit that they built at that age, right? They neglected their true self in childhood for whatever reason that was. And it's not for you to understand or to fix or to feel sorry for them. They made a choice. Now, after making that choice, they started only listening to the egoic sense of self. And that ego started building louder and louder and louder and louder. Made them literally become a false self. And a false self will operate, listen to this, on repeat, in cycles, doing the exact same thing to people who have energy, to people who have source, to people who have a sense of self. A narcissist will look for people who have a true self in order to steal their identity so they can keep living, so they can keep manipulating, so they can keep attracting people into their life by mirroring them, by stealing their energy, by brainwashing them to believe that they're crazy. Why? Because the narcissist does not have a true self. So they need supply. You understand? It's so simple. They need like a source to maintain this falseness that they are. Because without it, without the mask, without people's mask, you will see them for who they are. Nothing. So you being afraid of a narcissist and you panicking and suffering inside is because you keep giving your energy to them. You keep supplying them with your life force. You keep giving the devil energy to exist. So now the playbook and the way that it constantly, again, repeats itself with different narcissists, but it's the exact same thing. It's just playing out differently in different bodies, right? Different ages, different cultures. It's because the devil doesn't have a true self. He doesn't. So he created tactics and manipulations and programmings, and you know, he lives on planet Earth, for example. He is 3D based. And, excuse me, he created programs into society. And he makes you see life in duality, which is physical form, right? And who looks like this, who's a boy, who's a girl, who, you know, how do I explain it? The soul, for example, right? The soul is without the mind and without the body. The soul is an essence. It's an energy formula, okay? Just like the sun, just like the moon, just like the stars. It's energy. It like literally exists energetically, okay? This is all energy. Energy that is literally yours, okay? Now, the devil did a fantastic job by creating duality on planet Earth, right? By making people see themselves only in their mind. Making people believe that they are what happened to them in childhood, that they are these people's projections, that they are the body. So now the devil walks around and he triggers things that your mind remembered from childhood, or things that you were taught from society or schools or your parents or friends, the false self-behavior. So now the devil knows that, okay? Because he created that for you and for everybody who's suffering with the human condition. So now you're an adult now, and he sees you and he goes, oh yeah, I remember this kid. I remember what I did to her or him when they were a kid. Let me just come back and, you know, trigger that within them so I could keep getting supply from them. It's like that, right? Now, if you were present and you did not live in your mind and you did not identify yourself or attach yourself to what happened to you in childhood, or attach yourself to this physical form and the 3D and planet Earth, because you know that you're just an energy source having a human experience. So you're not attached to anything. You're not attached to your belief systems in the physical form. You're not attached to the things that happen to you. You're not attached to this physical world at all. You're not. You're just existing and you're enjoying the present moment, right? So now if a new narcissist were to come to you and try to trigger you and try to get you to respond or react or get validation or defend yourself, you wouldn't do that anymore, because you know that you're soul in human form and everything he's saying is bullshit. It's bullshit because it's not you. It's what happened to your body. It's what happened to your brain on planet Earth. If this makes sense, I hope it does. So now, for example, if you are outside and a narcissist is chasing after you to get your number, or you know, you're home with a narcissist and you're constantly arguing with this person, wanting them to see your point of view, wanting them to understand where you're coming from, you're giving them supply, existence, right? You're literally fueling their false self. You're like, hey, here, please validate me. Hey, here, please see me. Hey, here, let me yell and scream at you so I can, you know, be happy. Hey, here, you know, I'm so afraid to set my own boundaries because, you know, I'm so insecure, or I feel like if I don't do something, you're going to hate me. So here, take my number, right? Just examples. And if you remember that you're a soul in human form and none of this shit matters, you're going to look at the narcissist like, just like this. Because you're going to look at the narcissist and be like, dude, I know you want me to validate you. And I know that you have nothing without me. And you're not even going to actually even look at the narcissist. You're going to keep walking, because the only thing that narcissists do is want you to validate their existence with your energy. This is that simple. So when you hear a false self in the street, you hear an argument, you hear a fight, you hear somebody trying, yo, right? Or, hey, or, you know, yelling and screaming at you for no reason. You got to keep walking. You got to keep walking. You got to remember that these are demons in human form looking for validation. Like, yo, validate me. I need to be alive for a few minutes. So get mad, get tight. Let's fight. Let's argue. I need your energy. I need to squeeze it and suck it out of you. I need you to waste your precious life on me right now instead of being present and enjoying life with healthy people. No, I need you to focus on me because I am so insecure. I'm a predator. I don't love you, don't care about you, and this is why I'm treating you this way, because it's not about you. It's not about your wounds. It's not about you're a bad person. It's the fact that I don't give a fuck about you. All I want is for you to give me your energy right now. And the best energy for any narcissist is negative energy. Positive energy is still fuel. But negative is their food, because they cannot generate their own energy. So they have to take it from people by making them miserable. Because a narcissist can't make you happy. It's all superficial. So it's not going to fuel them. They're going to see your smile, right? They're going to buy you something. They're going to talk to you sweet on text, you know? They're going to do all this bullshit, excuse my language, this like temporary garbage, but it doesn't fulfill them. It doesn't give them the fuel that they need. It doesn't, they can't generate happiness. So how can they give you any happiness, right? So what the devil does is like, yo, this is exhausting. I really don't give a shit about this person, but look, this person seems really happy right now. Something good happened to them today. They're full of fuel. They're full of positive energy. Let me piss them off. Let me abuse them. Let me curse at them. Let me trigger something. You know, let me tell them something that they're not. And they're going to be so confused about it that they're going to start raging at me. Why are you thinking about me like this? Why are you doing this to me? Why do I look like I deserve to be treated this way? All these things, right? Boof! You just completely lost all your positive energy. And it's getting drained right out of you. And this is real. Smacked onto them now. All of a sudden you see them, they're happy, they're powerful, or they act stupid, right? They act confused. Oh, what just happened? I don't know. I didn't mean what I said. And when they do that, the confusion, the gaslighting, the constantly telling you that they're going to get better, sweetheart, it's to keep you as narcissistic supply. So sometimes when you see in the narcissist's eyes the stupid glimmer that they care about you, it's also fake. It's all fake. It's all fake. Why do you think you always feel so empty? Empty inside every single time? Why? You're just there to give them fuel. See, the devil cannot exist without you validating it. It's like a vampire. If you don't allow him to come to your house, he can't hurt you. You have to invite him in. You got to validate the narcissist for him to hurt you. You got to validate his existence, right? Now, a lot of people will say, oh my goodness, Batel, oh my gosh, but there's so many narcissists out there. How can I detect? How can I detect? Stop looking for validation. Stop trusting people. Stop giving them so much attention and positivity, expecting to receive it in return. Okay? It's that simple. You gotta love yourself. You gotta discern people. You gotta see who they are. And a lot of times you'll be like, oh my gosh, but when I met this narcissist, oh my gosh, they were just like me. We had the same hobbies. He seemed so upbeat and outgoing. And oh my gosh, yeah, totally, yeah. It's called, what's that word? It's a beautiful word. 1 second, I need a sip of cafe. Oh my gosh. The devil's seduction. Seducing you, charming you, pleasing you, real fast. We don't even know each other. And this is not how healthy people communicate, sweetheart. No. Healthy people, they will introduce themselves and they will be very strict with what they allow to give and what they're not allowed to give. And if you start, for example, being like, oh, why is this person treating me like this? Oh, I deserve more. Why aren't they happy? Why aren't they smiling? Now you're being selfish because you're expecting them to behave a certain type of way. So again, childhood, I wouldn't even say childhood stuff. It's the lack. It's lack within you, these expectations. Okay? We live in a world where there are so many toxic, narcissistic people out there, and everybody's living in their ego. Nobody has self-love. So when you constantly expect to go out there and receive it from people, when you expect people to love you and to validate you and do something a certain type of way and they don't do it, and you expect from them, that's a huge lack within yourself. You have to understand that everybody's an individual and everybody's going through their own garbage. And the only way you're gonna not take things personally is by validating your existence. You say, okay, you know, I'm happy, but if this person might not be happy today, it has nothing to do with me, and you just leave, right? Now, in the video that I'm suggesting you to listen to after this, it is literally the false self and true self Bible. Now, please understand that everything that's a false self is what that is in that sheet that you will listen to after this video. And you have to accept it. So if in that sheet you see something within yourself that's also a false self, you have to see it and detach from it, because it's part of the ego. It's part of the memory that you have accepted for yourself as part of this human form. Now, the other side is the true self, and I'm not talking about personality. I'm talking about the soul that you are. Everything that we are currently is programs. Okay? When we react to people, when we expect from people, when we're judging, when we're hating, when we are, you know, responding to negativity, it's all like, you know, programs from childhood, from the devil, from the false self, from believing that if we live like this, we will actually defend ourselves. And many times, absolutely. But once you become a true self, completely whole, without looking for external validation, being fully present and not living in your mind, for real, that's the only way that the devil will flee as well, because he's not manipulating your mind anymore. The devil can only exist when he can get through your mind and start controlling your mind. It's that simple, and I know it's hard because when you lived your whole life through your mind and through your thoughts and ego, you're always going to be questioning yourself when somebody's gaslighting you or lying to you and your brain starts to hurt and you're trying to be like, oh my gosh, you know, who should I believe? Should I believe them or should I believe me? That's terrible. You always gotta believe yourself. Always. Stop having so much empathy and sympathy and feeling bad for external people, because if they can lie to your face like that, and if they can manipulate you and put you down and make you obsessively think about something that you know for yourself is not true, then they don't really care about how you feel. Why should you care for them? Okay, this is the reality. You gotta wake up. In the end of the day, this is not even about narcissism anymore. It's about you and how you give your power away to external people all the time in order to get external validation, in order for someone to see you as a good person, in order to receive this love that you actually literally are not giving to yourself. It's like in front of your eyes. When you're arguing with someone, look at yourself. What are you doing? Are you loving yourself in that moment? Or are you trying to tell someone that what they're doing to you is wrong and how they shouldn't do that to you? Right? Instead of just seeing it for what it is and seeing, wow, this person wants me to argue with them. This person wants me to be ugly right now. I'm not going to do that to myself. I love myself. And leave. Walk away. Never see that person again. Don't give them a second chance. That's who they are. Don't delude yourself to believe that you did something wrong. Sure, everybody has their own problems and childhood wounds and triggers, and they don't know how to deal with it, so they take it out on people. But that's not your burden. Your burden is to take care of yourself right now, because ain't nobody really truly loved you. And they're not going to. True love comes from self. True love comes from self. And once you know how to love yourself, you're going to see everybody out there who's toxic and you're not going to be interested anymore. Sure, you might fall a few times. You're going to probably fall a lot, you know, on this journey. The self-healing, the self-love journey to really love yourself. You're going to make some mistakes, or you're going to repeat some cycles. But the more you keep going within and the more you validate yourself, eventually those cycles are going to end. And you're not going to really care anymore to deal with toxicity. You're not even going to want to listen to it anymore, because you're going to say, you know what, I did all this inner work all by myself. And I don't care about external people's problems, because nobody helped me get here. Nobody did this work for me, right? A narcissist is not going to do the inner work. No, a narcissist is going to constantly blame you for all their garbage, inflict this stupidity into your brain. So now you're wondering, why are they how could they think like this about me? It's just they're dumping their garbage onto you so you can feel weak and exhausted, so they can take your energy from you. Do you not understand or see that a narcissist is negative? Everything that they are is negative. It's fake. It's superficial. It's artificial. And you're always positive, and somehow, even being in their life, you find a way to regenerate your own positive energy, and they just seem to never be able to do that. Hello? You are a battery charging a negative battery all the time. That's all that's really happening here. The more you go within and you heal yourself, and you stop accepting negative behavior, believing that it's your fault, because it ain't nobody's fault. Ain't nobody's fault. Nobody should ever treat you like that when you didn't do anything to deserve it. Nobody should actually treat each other that way, but they do. They do. They fuel off of negative They feed off of it. It's their life force. You have to understand that negative people exist and positive people exist. But you just haven't attracted yourself to that positive frequency yet. Because currently you feel unworthy. Currently, you don't know what healthy looks like. Currently, you're focusing on the narcissist and how to heal the narcissist and how to get the narcissist to love you and validate you and treat you the way that you see fit for yourself. And that's not going to happen with that person, and you got to leave and you have to move on. You're only going to be exhausted, devoured, and repeat cycles, which is exactly what the devil wants you to do. Nobody has time to wake up every freaking day and do the exact same thing and expect for change. Change starts with you. And sure, a lot of people love their narcissist. They feel sorry for the narcissist when they finally see it for what it is, and the grief is crazy painful. And you know, it's because you have love inside you. It's because you have authenticity inside you. And the narcissist may also look upset when you're leaving too, but it's not because they're genuinely upset because you're leaving. It's not about abandonment issues that every psychologist out there wants to say. No. A narcissist thrives and lives off of manipulating people to stay and to obey. So now if they lose control over you, that's the only reason they're sad. Because they know that you know that they are pathetic and worthless. And that's the only reason they're sad. Because somebody finally sees them for what they are. Garbage. You may say, yeah, sure, the narcissist could be talented in many ways, you know? Whatever it is that they do in their life when it comes to a job. But they're never as good as people. Okay, listen to this. The narcissist is never, ever going to be better than an empath. It just is what it is. Everything they do is artificial. Means they copy everything that everyone else does. They just copy it. And let's say that they do a good job, right? They want to flaunt it out there. They need validation. They need praise. And because people are so afraid of them, if they don't give them that validation and that praise, they might get yelled at, screamed at, devalued, discarded. That's what makes their bullshit art or their career look so amazing. Because you know, you got to be worth it to be around them. It's bullshit. They just instill fear inside you. To see them as more superior. To see them as a hierarchy, right? Bullshit. Please go listen to that video after this series. Understand that narcissists play by the exact same playbook because they are a false self. They have to hurt people to generate their energy from them. There is no other way. There is no other way. So let me also talk about the brain pain and the fogginess and the, I don't know if you've ever felt it, but it always feels like your brain is like almost like being squished inside your head when you're in their presence, or when you think about them, or you think about what they've done to you, or you're arguing with them. Why? It's because they are literally stealing life force from you, and you're stuck thinking, which is creating the body. It's like pumping up the body even more. It's pumping it up. It's making it work overdrive. And it's shrinking the brain cells, right? So now your brain is legit damaged like it would be if you're constantly drinking alcohol or doing a severe exotic drug, for example. So because your body is always working extra hard, you're being drained off of your own life force in the present moment. Adrenaline, dopamine, and all the other stuff, right? And then your amygdala in your brain just completely heightens and inflates and becomes bigger, because now you're always working again in your brain overdrive, working so hard to defend yourself and protect yourself. And what should I say next? What should I do next? How should I look? How should I breathe? How should I talk? So your body is working overdrive in self-defense. And that's why you always feel so confused. Because this person is literally ruining you from the inside out. And you don't know who you are anymore. Because it's their job. That's what they do. That's the only thing that they do. A true self, understand, calm, at peace. We're not rushing anywhere. We're not going to argue with our loved ones. We're going to speak. We're going to create solutions. We're going to hear each other out. We're going to understand each other's perspective. We're going to work together. Or if we don't agree with something, we let it go. We always live in the now because we can't control tomorrow or 5 minutes from now. Every second is precious. God only knows what's going to happen. Hello? A true self does not need external validation. Constantly nitpick at you for it. Shame you if you're not giving it to them. Constantly be upset. Yo, how the narcissist is always upset? Making it seem like you're some horrible person and you're so innocent, for God's sake. And the only thing you want to do is love them and really like, what the hell? And they keep giving you these stupid facial expressions and this body language as if like you did something to them. They only do that so you can keep focusing on them and keep validating them and keep giving them fuel. Do you understand? It's always about the narcissist. It's not about you being happy. It's not about you being in a good relationship. It's not about you at all. It's about you draining yourself so they can keep living off of your energy. That's it. Even if a narcissist is sitting there looking upset or giving you the crocodile tears, again, they're doing it so you can focus on them and give them attention and validation and feel bad for them, which creates more energy drainage. Keep draining yourself and focus on me. I don't care about your body, your life, your brain. I pretend that I do so you could stay in my life. I give you little breadcrumbs here and there just so you could stay in my life and think that I changed. But it's all a facade. It's all an illusion. I just want you to focus on me until the day you die. And never really get to know who you are without me. Because you constantly need my validation, don't you? Don't you? You completely forgot who you are since the moment you walked into my life. Because I stole everything that you are and projected it onto myself. Your virtues, what you do for people. I always take, the, what's that called? They always take what you've done and make it seem like they did it in front of people. You need to understand, if you're listening to this video and you're stuck with a narcissist, if you are in a happy relationship, why are you watching this video? If this person was healthy, why are you so confused? It's because you know that you're suffering and you're trying to figure it out. Well, this is the answer. So starting today, you have to be strong. No more validating the false self. Don't even look at them. If you live together, ignore, avoid. If they want to argue, yell, scream, start a fight, you can just observe without looking at them. Observe. Let's say they're here and you're here and they're going crazy. Observe. Don't react, just listen. Don't take it personal. When you're still and you're present and you're listening, you get to really, really validate who that person is. Calm down. Your body might react. You might have a lot of pain body and a lot of anger and stuff. You can leave, walk somewhere, catch a breath, cry. Okay? Understand that this person is not going to change. Understand that it's not your job to change them. Understand that there's a life out there without this garbage and misery. Understand that you're just... You're allowing the devil to live literally inside your veins. Find a way to get out of this. And you will. Just listen to your intuition. Listen to yourself. Do it. I'll see you guys in the next mental health series. Best of luck. You can do it.